I first went freelance back in 1999, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Not a clue. I didn't even know anybody who was freelance. So I didn't have anybody I could talk to. There was no social media back then. So
Yeah.
we didn't have the joys of LinkedIn and Instagram and Twitter to kind of source other people's opinions on things. I had no idea what I was doing. So by the time I got to 2020, and this was actually before COVID hit, I got the idea of writing this book. And I just thought I would share some of the mistakes that I had made so that other people could kind of shortcut their own journey to success. Because it was only kind of after about 15, 20 years that I started to feel like I was actually pretty good at freelancing.
Okay.
And I just find I made so many mistakes to begin with. I had no boundaries. I had no work-life balance. I would always let my clients be the boss. And the whole idea of being freelance is that you are your own boss, and that's the brilliance of it. So when freelance life works really well, it just can be fantastic because you can have that freedom and you can have that flexibility, and you have the opportunity to only take on the work that is going to light you up and inspire you, and therefore you do your best work.
You talk in a book about swapping one boss, as in leaving employed life, for lots and lots of little bosses.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that, and how does one avoid getting caught in that trap?
Like I say, when you go freelance, you are effectively your own boss. But what happens is that quite often we are so desperate for work to come in to begin with that we just say yes to everything. So we say yes to work, whether it's a good fit with our skill set, our experience, our availability even. We'll say yes when we're already fully booked because we're sort of desperate to build our reputation and to get our name out there and to get the income ultimately. And what we quite often do is, because we're so keen on saying yes, we don't really think about our own boundaries and what actually works for us. And it's really important to keep that in mind, because the idea of being your own boss is that you are working on your terms.
Sure.
And that's not a negative for your clients. It's actually a positive, because when you know what works for you, when you're doing your best work, when you are your most inspired, we don't go freelance to work 9 to 5. We come out of the 9 to 5. We can work whatever hours we want. You could start at 6 a.m. and finish at 2 every day. You could just work mornings. You could just do 4 days a week, which is what I do. I don't work Fridays. And ultimately, your clients don't mind what hours you're working or what the details are behind the scenes. They just need to know that they can trust and rely on you to get the job done on time and within budget. So it's more helpful for your clients if you can be super clear with them about how you work, and just make their life easier by sort of saying, okay, so when we work together, this is what will happen. This is what you can expect. And by actually saying to them, one really specific example is I use an autoresponder, not just for holidays, but every single day of my freelance life. So it will say something like, thanks for getting in touch. I check my emails just a couple of times a day so I can focus on writing hardworking copy for my clients. I'll get back to you soon. So that might sound inconvenient to your client, but actually what it's doing is it's giving them a reassurance that you've received their message. It hasn't gone to junk, that you'll get back to them later. It's telling them that you prioritize active clients and that they can expect the same service when you're working for them. So it sends this kind of secret signal that you're not somebody who's just going to get distracted left, right, and center. Every time a message comes in, every time a notification or a little pop-up on your phone, you're not going to get pulled off task. You're going to be doing your best work for them. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about when I'm talking about setting boundaries and making it work for you. Because if you can tell your clients that this is the way you work, that's going to make their life easier. They know that they don't need to keep checking in to see how you're doing. You get less micromanagement, more hands-off clients who are happy to trust you and really relate to you on the same sort of basis, of rather than they're the client up here and you're the lowly supplier down here and they're telling you what to do, which is very much a kind of traditional employed model. You're actually working together on a partnership basis. There's mutual trust and mutual respect, and that's the way for a happy freelance life.